oops, this video is going to get me in trouble with my old financial advising friends, but it's a super important topic and I need to share it with you. And that is, having helped hundreds of people into retirement as a retired financial advisor myself, I do not think that your goal should be to retire rich. And I want to share with you the 5 things that I think you'll be happier if your goal are these things. I've seen people retire with $5 million, $10 million or more. And if your goal's financial, yes, a certain level of it to have financial security is important, but these are the things that I think really make a difference. And the first one is, instead of retiring with a large bank account, I want you to think about retiring with an account that has a lot of purpose in it. Thinking about retiring with purpose. And there's a difference between purpose and productivity. A lot of people, when they get ready to retire, are like, I'm just tired. I'm done. I don't want to have to be productive. And I felt exactly the same way. In fact, I call my retirement, this is my post-productivity period. I'm not doing things to be productive, but I do think many of us, most of us, get a lot of joy having purpose. And whether that's spending time with our adult kids, helping out with the grandkids, having a beautiful garden, getting in shape, riding your bike, making friends that enjoy activities that you do, whatever that purpose is for you, retire rich with purpose, not rich in dollars. Have enough dollars, but beyond enough, these other things, I'm going to share with you 4 more. These other things I think will bring you a lot more joy. Okay, the next one, really important. Retire rich in health. And this is obvious, but as we get older, health becomes much more important. I have a friend that says we look like our age when we're younger, and we look like our habits as we get older. And one of the things personally that I've been fighting is before I retired, I had borderline high blood pressure. And my blood pressure has dropped tremendously. Yes, I have a little more time to work out, but frankly, I've put on a couple pounds since I've retired, which was not part of the game plan. I need to lose that. But I think my blood pressure dropped just because we have a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. So that alone is going to be helpful. I'm not a doctor. None of this is health advice or medical advice. None of this is financial advice. I don't know your situation, but just taking that weight off of our shoulders of our jobs, where we have things that we have to deliver. We have goals, we have deadlines, we have targets we need to hit. Frankly, it's very stressful. And after doing our jobs for 20, 30, 40 years, it may not seem stressful. Mine did not seem stressful. But now that I've been away from it for over a year, you know what, candidly, it was more stressful than I thought. And your job's probably more stressful than what you think. So not just taking the pressure off our shoulders, but then investing our time, our energy, our efforts, and our money in keeping our health. So going to the gym, eating right, investing in proper nutrition, both dollars and time to cook as opposed to eating fast food and things like that. A good book for this is called Younger Next Year. I should have mentioned with the first one, Retiring with Purpose. There's a great book called From Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks. You'll be able to find all of my book recommendations in the description to this video. Okay, the next one is Retiring Free from Regrets. And for this, what I mean by retiring free of regrets is oftentimes we put off things that we're hoping to be able to do. I wanted to learn to surf. I used to hang glide. I know, right? Kind of a dangerous sport, but I used to fly small airplanes. There's things that are a lot easier to learn to do and to actually do when we're younger. Traveling. A lot of people have travel on their bucket list, but I've been fortunate. I've been able to travel to quite a few countries. And if you wait till your late 60s, your early 70s, you may very well end up traveling in a way that you wish you could have done differently if you had done that traveling in your 50s. So that's the next thing, is think about the activities that you want to do. Think about looking back and saying, what regrets might I have if I don't do these things now? The book I recommend for this has a weird title. It's called Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. It talks about spending your money, investing your money in activities, adventures, memories, doing that earlier while you still can get a lot of benefit from it. A lot of people, if we wait till we're 80, we're not going to be able to do these things. Okay, the next one is retiring rich in memories. Just kind of related, admittedly, to number 3, but as opposed to spending and saving money to buy stuff that, is not going to make us happier, the stuff that shows up in cardboard boxes way too often on most of our front porches, think about in the last 100 days. See if you could write down the things that you bought and how much you spent on them, and then actually look back at your receipts. I think you're going to find, at least in my case, that 60, 70, 80% of the things that I don't even remember buying, and they did not move the needle in happiness for me. Okay, the next one is retire with an abundance of clarity and confidence. I want you to retire with confidence. And what I mean by this is clarity and confidence that you can spend the money that you're spending and you're not putting your financial future at risk. You don't have to worry about running out of money, nor do you have to worry about, I could have spent more. In our 80s and our 90s, when we can't do things, I don't want you to look back and look at your bank account and say, why did I save all this money? Why didn't I spend it? I want you to know how much you can spend. And how do you do that? You do that by getting together a financial plan. If you don't have a financial plan, one of two things is going to happen, and they're kissing cousins to each other. You're either going to sacrifice unnecessarily, which is what 80% of people do, or unfortunately, you're going to put your financial future at risk, and they're right next to each other when you don't have knowledge. The truth is they're very far apart. And the way you find out that you're in the middle and you're fine and you can spend the money that you're spending is by putting together a financial plan. The gold standard is to work with a financial advisor. I know a lot of you would prefer to do it yourself. You've worked hard for 20, 30, 40 years to save your money. If you'd rather do it yourself, use software that's designed for you. The software that I like is affordable. It's very robust. It's easy to use. You can do different what-if scenarios. Again, super affordable. It used to be called New Retirement. It's now called Bolden. You can find it in the description for this video along with my book recommendations. Okay, and then the last one is retire rich in relationships. Multiple studies have shown that the happiest retirees are the ones that, money's not there. It barely even makes the list when you look at retiree happiness. But what is there is relationships and having strong relationships. And if you enjoyed this video, one that's very close to it, that talks about another important decision when you retire, it's called Why Waiting to 65 to Retire Might Be a Big Mistake. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in that one. Bye-bye.